Hi guys. I have been given the opportunity to work on another photo for one of my friends, and she's just kind of wondering, how she can edit this photo to make it stand out and not have distractions in the background. So what we're going to do today is we're going to apply a preset, and then we're going to bring it into Photoshop. And in Photoshop is where I'm going to get rid of things that are in the way and that might stand out a little bit that I don't really want. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I've already decided that I want a black and white high key, and I want to make it matte. Very simple. Okay, I also have decided that I'm going to crop on this photo because sometimes cropping can make all the difference in the world. I'm going to straighten this up just a tad. Okay, so this is the crop that we're going to use for now, and we're going to take this over into Photoshop. The way that we take this into Photoshop is you're going to right click on the thumbnail, go to edit in, and then you should have a plugin right here that says Photoshop. We're going to edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. When we come back, it will have edited another photo. Okay, so we don't have the original file, so this might look a bit digitized or grainy, but we're going to go through the same process no matter what. There are a million ways, just like anything else, to do something in Photoshop, and this is the way that I have chosen to do this particular image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my clone brush and my healing brush for this particular one. And I need to deselect a little bit in her nose here, and I'm just holding down my option key, and that will deselect. As you can see the little minus tool by the lasso. A little bit of a forehead out there. We'll add some of that back in. I'm holding the shift to add. Okie dokie. So I'm going to take my clone tool first, and I'm going to option, and I'm just going to kind of, sorry, this isn't my clone tool, this is my healing brush. We're going to start with our clone tool. I'm going to fill this in. And it's going to be a rough fill in for right now. That's okay. We're going to come back and tweak it up a little bit if we need to. And most likely we will. Command D for deselect. Here's where we're going to use our healing tool. We have lines in here that have been created from some other piece in our photo that we use to duplicate. So I'm just going to grab something and just kind of go over those lines a little bit, let it kind of get blended in into the scenery a little, because we don't want anything that looks photoshopped. If you get too close to a subject, you'll notice that it pulls some of this color out. The reason why it does that is because this particular tool does an averaging mathematical equation. So what it does is it takes some of the pixels that you're working with and then some surrounding pixels and then combines them. If you get too close to a different subject, it's going to pick up those pixels. So be aware of that when you're doing that. You're not doing anything wrong, it's just the way that the brush is. Okay, we're just going to kind of be blending here a little bit more. Get rid of some things that might be a distraction, like these little pebbles. If it does happen to where you need to be a little closer, just make your brush a little bit smaller, and then you won't have that problem. It all depends on your brush size. Okay, I'm also going to get rid of this line here. I don't know why that stands out to me, but it just does, so I'm just going to brush over that real quick and just get that blended in a little bit better. And we're going to get rid of this little tree. We're going to go back to our clone stamp and grab the majority of this and clean it up, and then we'll go back in with the other clone brush, and we'll get rid of any patterns that we might have made. because we don't want those around. Okay, we have a pile of rocks that are over here that I'm not really caring for. So what we could try to do is we can try to bring this grass that we've got over here still selected, and as you can see where my circle is, it shows me where this pattern already is. So what I could do, and we're just playing around right now, is I'm just going to drag this down just to see what the results are when I'm done. See if we like this. Again, we'd have to get rid of some of this pattern, and we simply do that by clicking elsewhere and touching on that here and there again. And we're just bringing in some other texture just to give it some creativity, some depth. It's actually not too bad once you kind of play around with it a little bit and put some dimension in it. Make my brush a little bit smaller and get a little bit around the edge of this road here, just to kind of blend that in a little bit. That's not too bad. Great. So we'll go ahead and keep that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this little tree trunk up here just because he's kind of in the way, so that's a simple, easy little fix. Once we get our brush size the right size. There we go. Okay, and I see a little dot right here. I don't know where that came from, but we don't want that. Okay. Well, I'm pretty satisfied with this, so we will go ahead and hit Command S for save. And then we'll go over to our Lightroom. And there it is. So here's what we took into Photoshop, and then this is what we brought back out of Photoshop. The grass could probably stand to be used, just to be used to work on a little bit more, but just for all intents and purposes, this kind of gives you an idea of the possibilities that you can do to make a photo look better, to make it look a little bit more simplified, give it a easier way to look at it. You could even potentially bring the sidewalk down and kind of over to make that path look like it's wider, maybe give it a deeper perspective. But those are all things that you can play with as you're learning Photoshop. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at info@gearyphotography.com. Have a great day!